The Krell Armada had never known defeat. Across 17 star systems, their crimson warships had painted the void with the ashes of conquered civilizations. When their long-range scouts detected the blue marble called Earth, tucked away in an unremarkable corner of the Orion Arm, the Krell High Command barely considered it worthy of their full attention. Preliminary scans showed a species still confined to a single planet, their technology centuries behind Krell standards. It would be a harvest, not a war. Commander Thexkar stood aboard the flagship Crimson Dominion, watching the fleet assemble through the viewing port. 9,700 vessels, the largest invasion force the Krell had ever deployed. Overkill, perhaps, but the High Command wanted to send a message to other potential resistors across the galaxy. Defiance meant annihilation. Primitive broadcasts detected, his tactical officer reported. They call themselves humans. They appear to be warning each other of our approach. Thexkar's mandibles clicked in amusement. Let them prepare. It will make no difference. On Earth, in the subterranean command center beneath Geneva, Major Anna Morrison studied the holographic displays with ice in her veins. The alien fleet had translated out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the solar system. The numbers were catastrophic, nearly 10,000 ships, each one larger than humanity's most advanced orbital platform. They're not even trying to hide, she said quietly. They want us to see them coming. Lieutenant Louis Chen nodded from his station, his fingers dancing across haptic controls. Tactical analysis confirms they're maintaining formation. No evasive patterns. They think this is already over. Anna allowed herself a thin smile. Then they've made their first mistake. Activate protocol endurance. All teams to stations. The Krell fleet advanced with mechanical precision, expecting the humans to either surrender or launch a futile defense. They encountered neither. Instead, as they crossed the orbit of Mars, space itself seemed to erupt around them. Humanity had prepared for first contact for over a century, but not with welcome banners. Every asteroid mining station, every satellite, every piece of orbital infrastructure had been designed with dual purpose. Now thousands of kinetic kill vehicles accelerated to significant fractions of light speed, turning the inner solar system into a shooting gallery. The Krell shields, designed to deflect energy weapons, were nearly useless against tungsten rods moving at relativistic velocities. The first wave of impacts tore through 300 vessels in seconds. Thexkar watched in disbelief as his formation began to dissolve. Impossible. They shouldn't have this capability. Evasive maneuvers, he ordered. But the humans had anticipated that too. The kill vehicles weren't following ballistic trajectories. They were guided, adaptive, learning. For every Krell ship that dodged, 2 more projectiles adjusted course. Lewis monitored the engagement from Earth, his screen filled with telemetry data. Second wave away. They're trying to cluster for mutual defense. Then let's introduce them to Murphy, Anna said, authorizing the next phase. Murphy satellites, named after the ancient law that whatever can go wrong will go wrong, had orbited innocuously for decades. Now they activated, releasing swarms of self-replicating nanomachines. The microscopic machines sought out the Krell vessels, burrowing through hulls, corrupting systems, turning the invaders' own technology against them. The Krell fleet, once a symbol of unstoppable conquest, began tearing itself apart. Ships fired on their own wingmen as corrupted targeting systems identified allies as threats. Fusion reactors went critical as safety protocols failed. The void filled with silent explosions, each one a tomb for hundreds of Krell warriors. Thexkar realized too late the magnitude of their error. These humans weren't primitives waiting to be conquered. They were survivors who had clawed their way up from a planet that had tried to kill them for millions of years. They had faced ice ages and asteroid impacts, plagues and world wars. They had split the atom and walked on their moon before they even knew aliens existed. And they had prepared for the worst. Full retreat, Thexkar commanded. All vessels break orbit and... The transmission cut off as the Crimson Dominion buckled under the impact of a kinetic strike. Emergency bulkheads sealed, but the damage was catastrophic. Half the fleet was already debris. The survivors scattered, abandoning formation in desperate attempts to reach the translation point for faster-than-light escape. Anna watched the rout with grim satisfaction. Let some of them go, Lewis. Make sure they make it home. Lewis looked up sharply. Ma'am? They need to tell the story, Anna explained. They need to go back to whoever sent them and explain what happened when they underestimated humanity. We're sending a message of our own. Of the 9,700 vessels that had come to conquer Earth, only 17 limped back to Krell space. Dexcar was not among the survivors. The returning commanders delivered their report with trembling voices. The humans were not prey. They were something far more dangerous, a species that had survived by expecting the worst and preparing for it. The Krell High Command sealed the star charts. Earth's coordinates were classified as forbidden territory. The blue marble in the Orion arm received a new designation in Krell databases: Death World, Do Not Engage. In the Geneva Command Center, Anna and Louis shared a quiet moment as the celebration erupted around them. They had won, but they knew the galaxy was watching now. Humanity had announced its presence not with words, but with the wreckage of an armada. "They'll come back eventually," Louis said. "Maybe not the Krell, but someone will." Anna nodded. "And we'll be ready. That's what humans do. We survive, we adapt, we endure." Outside, the stars shone with new meaning, not as unreachable lights, but as a frontier waiting to be claimed by a species that refused to surrender.